From Fox 8 Sports, this is the Overtime Podcast.
From the Gulf Coast studios in New Orleans, this is the Fox 8 Overtime Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Fazende, riding shotgun as he does each and every podcast. This is Andre Johnson.
Jr.
Do not forget the Junior. Very important, remember the JR at the end of the name. Before we get into today's content, be sure to like, to share, to rate, to review. If you are watching us on YouTube, you know the drill. Do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. Get the bell notification for when we drop that fire content. Also, hello to the Gulf Coast Sports and Entertainment Network. Glad you have found us here. Please stay here, because guess what? The show's on here. We're starting to cover some winning teams now when it comes to the New Orleans Saints and New Orleans Pelicans. But for this podcast, we're going to focus on your New Orleans Saints. Got their fourth win of the season. Victory Monday, back-to-back weeks, and it feels good. I'm feeling good. It's cold outside, but hey, look, still in a good mood based off what we saw last night in the Superdome. How you feeling?
It's cold outside, but the Saints and Pelicans are on a heater. Sean. Hey, 2-game win streak. I looked it up yesterday because the Saints and Pelicans both won, and I'm like, I can't remember the last time they both won on the same day. January 7, 2023, 108 days ago, but you know, we made it. And speaking of making it, Victory Monday, the Saints pull off another upset against the Carolina Panthers, Sean. And when you look at that game, you could talk about a lot of things. You know, the big game winner by Charlie Smith, the good performance by the defense, but you got to look at rookie quarterback Tyler Shough, because, Sean, it's been a long ride. We done seen the Jameis Winstons, the Taysom Hills, the Andy Daltons. We done seen the Derek Carrs. We went through the Spencer Rattler phase that some of y'all are still going through. And now, as we sit here, we can finally say in the city of New Orleans, the Saints have the guy to build around. Did Tyler Shough remove all doubt that he is the future of this franchise with that win yesterday?
Y'all knew we were going here today. Y'all knew it. Come on. And let's get going. Let there be no doubt from here on out. Tyler Shough is the guy. Tyler Shough is the guy going forward. Look elsewhere in your mock drafts. The quarterback box has been checked off. His coaches believe, his teammates believe it. Don't believe our word for it? Listen to theirs right now.
Yeah, just phenomenal performance. You know, when your best is needed, he showed up. And so, obviously, he made some big-time plays. I thought, from a pass game perspective, his last couple drives, I thought receivers were dialed. You know, Vele goes down, and Kevin pops in there and makes some plays. And so, I thought it was big time.
Like I said, I played college with him, and I was just telling someone on the sideline, I think Kool-Aid, I seen his talent in these moments, so it really don't surprise me. I like him in these moments. I bet the bank on it. So it just give me chills knowing that him, my rookie class, and I played ball with him before, so it's like it's a good feeling just playing with him.
Just having that trust in him, especially at the quarterback position. Like I said, I had that drop, and he kept coming to me the next drive. So just him being fearless back there, taking those hits. Like I said, it's an NFL league, or it's a contact league. So I'm glad he was able to get up from that and bounce back and just deliver the ball. I feel like he's doing a great job.
Tyler Shough, man, he building, man. Every week I can just tell he get more comfortable. He just starting to look like that guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Man, all power to Shough, man. He doing whatever he doing. We got to get him to keep doing it.
Man, what I've been saying the last 3 weeks, he's growing at a rapid pace. Love to see his growth. Like to see how the offensive line was able to stall out and become really, really strong in the end. This is probably the most penalty game I think I've ever seen in my life on both sides of the ball, so we have plenty of things we can clean up in the last 3 games.
All right, Andre, you heard it. I mean, that's real, that's raw, that's a complete understanding of what just happened. So let's go there. Sunday was the latest piece of evidence that you can now collect to say with the overall certainty Tyler Shough is the guy. Understand what Tyler Shough did against the Panthers. A playoff contending team atop the division with everything to play for. The Saints, the opposite end, bottom of the division with nothing to play for. Oh, by the way, the Saints had no Alvin Kamara. They haven't had Rashid Shaheed for a long time. They haven't had Eric McCoy for a long time. Then in Sunday's game, they lost Cesar Ruiz, Devon Vele, and Devin Neal. It didn't matter. Shough still found a way.
You mean those aren't
Shough
excuses?
still found a way. No excuses. When those guys went down, Shough's play went up. You love this word. He what? He elevated. He elevated his guys in the absolute time he had to do it. In the absolute have-to-have-it moment, he was there, and he smoothly and calmly led his team to victory. There's a word for that. Actually, it's two. Franchise quarterback. Franchise quarterback. That's what they do. They offset deficiencies elsewhere, and they elevate not just in the middle of the first quarter, but in the biggest moments of the game. The final two drives, Shough was fantastic. He was absolutely fantastic. The defense got the stop they needed, and they go back. This is the game-tying drive. He goes 6 of 7. He all of a sudden finds Chris Olave 4 different times. And when I say he threaded the needle beautifully on the touchdown pass to Chris Olave to tie the score up. Following drive, beautiful screen pass, another pass to Chris Olave. Boom, they're in field goal range. Boom, he runs a QB draw, gets hit, draws the plus 15, situational awareness. They kick the field goal, and off they go with his what? Third win as starting quarterback. He was at his best when his team needed it most for 2 weeks now. This is back-to-back weeks, back-to-back elevated performances, back-to-back elevated performances in the division. This is huge, Andre, because who do you play the most? You play the teams in your division. I was excited for Shough last week. Now he is in there. We have cemented his role. And yesterday, there was a new evolution to this. And it's Tyler Shough has obviously shown he can be the guy. And what you're seeing now is a head coach / play caller that understands Tyler Shough is his guy, and you're starting to feel that young offensive play caller finally get into rhythm because he finally has the confidence in that guy. So now, last week I was excited about Shough. This week I'm excited about the duo of Tyler Shough and Kellen Moore. I think that's a very important development in this whole process because we've seen around here the best path to a Super Bowl is to have a genius play caller and a really Hall of Fame quarterback. Now, I don't know if Kellen Moore qualifies as a genius play caller yet, and I don't know if Tyler Shough is going to be a Hall of Famer. But I do know those two have to be in synergy for it to happen. It's the only blueprint we've seen around here work. So if this is the start of that, that gets me excited. Speaking of excitement, there is now a genuine excitement in the fan base. There is a genuine excitement for those of you listening right now. And I'm not sure the last time they've truly felt that, other than maybe week 2 of last year. It has been a long time since they have felt that genuine level of excitement and optimism about what could be with this franchise going forward. This year has been an interesting year. It's been a lot of baby steps. We talked about that. And almost too many baby steps. It's been a long journey. And when you have challenges at the beginning of the season, that season can really drag. It really feels like that sometimes. But they've stayed the course. They've now found their guy. And now you're starting to feel the seeds of momentum building for not just finding your franchise quarterback, which I think they have, but also building seeds for the future. And, okay, I'm envisioning this franchise quarterback with this type of talent around him and where this franchise can go with a young play caller who has struggled this year, but I think has turned the corner the last 2 games. We had a podcast about that. It's a feeling in the Who Dat Nation, in the fan base of, I can't wait till next year. And I'll be honest with you, up until Sunday, I'm not sure they felt that. To this extent. That's why, Andre, winning matters. That's why winning matters. I understand the draft stuff. I understand the draft picks.
That's gone.
But look, this is why winning matters, because now you have momentum. Now you have a feeling. Now you have a belief. And now you have a genuine excitement about what this franchise could become. And I'll just leave it with this. You and I both were high on Shough. I was very late to the party on Tyler Shough in the pre-draft process. I didn't really hear about him until the Senior Bowl, and even then, I didn't hear the Saints were on him until later in the draft process, and that's when I really started to play catch-up. And I was excited about him. I was excited about him in minicamp. I was excited about him in training camp. My point to you is I was high on Shough, but I have to say, and this is honest, he has surpassed my expectations. I mean, he has been thrown into some very difficult set of circumstances, and week in and week out, and for these last couple of weeks, he has been the biggest reason why this team has won games. It's obviously not all one player, but when you have that guy, everything else seems to just put everything else at ease. And I think right now you're seeing a franchise getting more and more belief that they have the most important position checked in the building. So final grade. I don't care what the stats say. I don't care the points scored. I know they only scored 20. Given what they had and given the way that game went, I'm giving Tyler Shough an A. So sue me, but I think he had a phenomenal performance. And like I said, let there be no doubt, he's the guy.
You know, remember the days when the Saints fell behind in games and you kind of knew it was over?
Yeah.
Man, that is not the case when Tyler Shough is at quarterback. And, you know, you touched on the pre-draft process and everything. And I was a little hesitant at first as well, just looking at his injury history, his age, his experience. But when we saw him play in training camp, forget preseason, forget regular season. We were still early to the party in regards to when he put on a Saints jersey. When we saw him play in rookie camp, and OTAs, in mini camp, in training camp, all of that, and we're seeing a lot of the same things that we're seeing now, we said, the Saints might have them one. They might need to roll with that guy early. They didn't. We'll get to that one day, I'm sure. But for now, the two words I've been saying, you touched on one of them, elevate and overcome. It's easy to use a lot of the things that Tyler Shough is experiencing as an excuse. We saw it with his predecessor. Oh, it's a patchwork offensive line. Oh, all of his receivers are hurt. Once again, you mentioned it. Cesar Ruiz went down. Backup at right guard. You got a backup center. You got a rookie at left tackle and a second-year player coming off an injury at right tackle. You got a backup left guard in. You got Rashid Shaheed traded. Brandon Cooks released. Right,
I forgot about Brandon, yeah.
Exactly. Devon Vele, who Tyler Shough really was vibing with, and it was starting to seem like that's his go-to target. Devon Vele gets hurt. And you're bringing in Kevin Austin Jr. to go with Chris Olave. You finally get a running game going with Devin Neal after Alvin Kamara and Kendre Miller get hurt. Devin Neal goes down. So you've got Kevin Austin Jr., you've got offensive linemen who you guys couldn't name 6 weeks ago in the game that are playing meaningful football. You've got Austin Esteem and Evan Hull, two guys who y'all didn't even know were on the roster probably before last week. And Tyler Shough takes all of that and overcomes a double-digit deficit against a 7-win team that coming into Sunday was in the playoffs and wins the game. I mean, what more do you need to see? You know, just the way that the last drive, the game-winning drive was great. But the drive before that
was fantastic. 7
plays, 78 yards in 2 minutes. Effortless, flawless. And it gave me a feeling that I haven't felt watching the Saints in a while. And I know y'all probably haven't felt watching the Saints in a while. When Bryce Young had that ball and was driving to potentially win the game for the Panthers in 5 minutes, I said, if Tyler Shough gets this ball back, it's over.
They're winning, yes.
They're winning this game.
He was in the zone.
When's the last time that this city could say with confidence, boy, if you give us that ball back, our quarterback going down the field and winning that game? Probably since number 9.
Been a minute, yeah.
Exactly. And then after the game, he's talking on the field and he's talking about, oh yeah, I see him. We chopper styling out there. What did number 9 say? If you love this city will love you back. I know we've been on a lot of different camps lately, you know, the Hain train with Jake Haener, the Rat Pack and everything that I see y'all guys got on the field yesterday, you know, for that one pass. But the Rat Pack and everything that they go through for their guy. But Shough squad, y'all guy, Tyler Shough, He's the one, and it's time for this city to embrace Tyler Shough because I think that he has proven that he's the future of this team. The way that he's building on each performance, the way that you see him growing from the first Tampa game to LA, to Carolina, to Miami, to the second Tampa game, and now doing this against Carolina. 3 wins against 3 teams with winning records. Derek Carr only had 2 wins against a team with a winning record the whole time he was here. The things that he's doing in this division, the things that he's doing against teams that are in the hunt to be, playoff competitors, like, it's incredible. And the fact that he looks so poised for a guy who's only played 6 games. I mean, I don't know. If you don't think Tyler Shough is at least the guy moving forward, I don't know what more you need to see. Winning, check. The numbers he's putting up, check. The competition he's playing, check. These are winning football teams in the Panthers and the Bucks. To me, he's shown everything that you need to see. He's scoring points. You saw the 24 last week. You saw the 20 this week. So all props to Tyler Shough. You gave him an A. I think you're a little bit of a tough grader. I'm giving him an A+.
Okay. All right. Well, we're both high on Tyler Shough. I think that's pretty obvious. And I think what transpired Sunday basically removed the doubt. And basically, I don't know how the rest of the 3 games are going to go. I look at it now. I think it's 3 winnable games. I mean, who knows what could happen? They could win out. Boy, wouldn't that be such a crazy sort of feel to put a bow on this crazy season with the twists and turns that they have gone through. But I think I think now they were probably on board before. They're definitely on board now. And look, he's playing his best in the biggest moments, and in each week, what he's had to work with in those biggest moments have gone down each week with the availability of certain players who is or is not available. So I'm not sure what else you can ask for. And you said something that was very interesting. You said, it's only played in 6 games. That's what stands out the most. What you're seeing with Cam Ward, what you're seeing with Jackson Dart, what you're seeing with Shedeur Sanders, that's how it normally goes with a rookie. Yeah. There are high highs, there's low lows, it's a little sporadic, it's a little boom or bust, it's a little, you're not quite sure they know what they're doing just yet, they're just kind of feeling their way through it. What you don't normally see is what you're seeing with Shough, which is a very poised, you don't see the peaks and the valleys, you don't see the up and down emotion, and you see a level of steadiness, even when they're not lighting up the scoreboard, a level of steadiness that I think has really, it's rare for a rookie, and I think that's the thing that's probably convinced him the most. Because if he's had a typical rookie year, like a Cam Ward or Shedeur or Jackson Dart, they probably would still be on board. But he's gone above and beyond, at least that crossing that threshold. That's why I said, I was high on him, but he has surpassed my expectations because I was expecting a little bit of up and down nature before when he found his footing. Remember, we had the podcast when they finally switched to Tyler Shough. I said, well, how much of a grace period is he going to need? He needed a quarter. That was it. I thought it was going to be like a 3 or 4 game kind of let him find his footing, and by maybe this point in the season, he can elevate and be successful. But no, it's been pretty sudden. It's been pretty instant, and it's been the best thing about it. And I would love to know if that's something that they were even expecting. Like, because you got to have a realistic feel for all this stuff, but the fact that he seems to already be there mentally is certainly a plus. And that's why right now, his age is not the detriment. His age is obviously maybe his biggest asset right now as a player, as a rookie quarterback. The fact that he's 26, you can clearly feel his maturity.
And you can feel the locker room also.
No doubt. You heard it earlier.
Exactly. You hear how they're talking about Tyler Shough. They're talking about Tyler Shough like they know they've got one of those guys. And, you mentioned the rookie class. I was talking with my friends this morning. If you ask me, I would think Tyler Shough's Rookie of the Year. Yeah. I mean, you look around the class, Shedeur, Cam Ward, Tyler Shough's been better than them in 6 games. Ashton Jeanty, Vegas is a horrible place to be right now. It's very tough for him, but Ashton Jeanty hasn't had the performances that maybe you think. Travion Henderson, he's been starting as long as Tyler Shough. I mean, you look at Teteroy McMillan and Emeka Egbuka, both of them have been inconsistent, but Tyler Shough, from the day he touched cleat to turf, has been impressive, and he's winning games that he's not supposed to win with a team that he's not supposed to win with. I mean, how many times earlier this season did we just say, this team doesn't have enough talent, this team doesn't have enough talent? And since those days, they've lost talent. I mean, you've got no Shaheed, no Cooks, no AK, no Kendra, no Devin Neal. The offensive line is banged up. Taysom is a shell of what we've seen him be in the past.
And yet what happened with the win total? It's going up.
Once again, he's not beating down on the Titans and Jets, although he might be doing
might beat them this week.
in the next 2 weeks. He's beating down on divisional teams. He's beating down on teams when he played the Bucs. The Bucs were in first place in the NFC South. Panthers take first place in the NFC South. He's beating them too. These are all upsets. These are all games that you look at and you're saying a rookie quarterback is not supposed to win. And not only is he winning them, he's outperforming these other quarterbacks.
Correct.
Yesterday's game came down to Tyler Shough versus Bryce Young. Our guy is better than your guy. Because Bryce Young had opportunities. Bryce Young had the lead late. Bryce Young had the ball in his hands with plenty of chances to put that game away to where Tyler Shough couldn't come back. The first time around, it was the other way around. Bryce Young had the ball in his hands with plenty of opportunities to come back and win the game like Tyler Shough did yesterday. And the Saints were begging Bryce Young to do that because they were taking away the run. Bryce Young both times couldn't get it done. Both times in two situations, holding on to a lead and moving the ball and killing clock the first time, and being down and making all the plays you need to make the comeback the second time. Tyler Shough was better than Bryce Young. He went blow for blow with Baker Mayfield, who was in the MVP discussion earlier this year. I'd say he was better than Tua when they played Miami.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The same Tua that has led the NFL in passing. The only time he was, obviously quarterbacks don't go face to face, but the only time he played a quarterback that he was probably outmatched by is future Hall of Famer Matthew Stafford.
Right.
You know, he's probably going to be better than whoever the Jets struck out on Sunday.
Yeah, who's that going to be? Yeah.
They had Brady Cook in there
right.
yesterday. Cam Ward, he'll get his second shot at Kirk Cousins. Like, man, I mean, Tyler Shough has shown everything to say with confidence that he's that guy, and that's such a relief. It's such
really
a good
is.
feeling to go into April and say, running back, receiver.
Yeah, give me playmakers. Just give me playmakers on the edge. I was looking through my phone because we did get quite a few questions, and I thought I'll get to a couple. We got about 4 minutes or so left, something like that. This is an interesting one. Be ready. From Chuck Thoe, Ponchatoula. Hey, I got to give him credit. He is a consistent question asker.
Yes.
I love it. This is a good question now. Will Spencer Rattler be next year's backup QB, or is there a market for him in a trade? What do you think?
I think he's a good backup quarterback to have because I do think he's a backup quarterback in the league. I don't think there's much of a market for him right now. I think, in a way, Tyler Shough's production has kind of killed the market for Rattler a little bit because you look at how different the offense looked in weeks 1 through 8.
Yeah.
You look at how different the offense looked when Rattler was playing Chicago. Heck, when Rattler started against Tampa versus when Shough started against Tampa. And Rattler had a lot more talent compared to what Shough's dealing with. You look at the contrast between the two, and Shough succeeding with less than what Rattler has.
Significantly more.
Exactly. I think, if anything, that's hurt the Rattler market. I don't know, unless you're Clint Kubiak, Dennis Allen, Darren Rizzi, who could talk to Sean, somebody with a link to Spencer Rattler, or maybe somebody who scouted him out of college. Maybe somebody would be willing to throw a 6th or a 7th your way, but I don't know what the market for Rattler is at this point.
Well, this is a very interesting dynamic because we're seeing around the NFL. Like, I would love to see someone do a study on this. It feels like the injury rate at quarterback is higher than it's ever been. And look, let's be honest. The one thing I didn't like about Shough yesterday was he took a ton of hits. Some were necessary, some were not. I mean, that last hit he took, look, that was a necessary play for him to get down, but that was a penalty, obviously. You don't want to get your quarterback taking that many hits, but I think he'll learn that. But to me, if he's the guy and you want to make sure you give yourself every possible advantage to win, I would, if I'm the Saints, I'm looking at the veteran backup quarterback market, the Mason Rudolph types, I I'd say Gardner Minshew, although he might have fallen off a little bit. He'll be playing now with the Chiefs.
Kenny Pitt, Geno Smith's going to be in the market to be a veteran backup soon.
I would really take a look at the proven veteran backup quarterback market. If you feel like you can make that leap next year, and you want to maybe get out of the, I guess, call it the developmental phase, which you're somewhat in with Spencer Rattler. And I do think now, like I would be concerned if perhaps it was still kind of close between the two, but now I think it's pretty obvious. Shough's the guy, so I wouldn't worry about any sort of, dynamics in the locker room being an issue, or office politics in the locker room, that type of stuff that can happen with a guy that was a starter and was not the starter. But if you get a call about Rattler, who I don't know what the market is for him. I know people scouted him. I know he had a good Senior Bowl a couple years ago. Kubiak's out there somewhere with Seattle right now.
Yeah.
I guess if you get a day 3 pick, I would trade him, just get one of these veteran backups that's proven to win games. Because if you get some kind of injury and your quarterback's out for 4 or 5, 6 game stretch, you just want somebody that's good enough to come in there and give you 500 play. So that's a good question by Chuck, though. Stay tuned with that, because that could be something that could come up. This is from Joshua Gus and Gentilly. We got about a minute and a half left. Why can't the Saints play good like that against teams who aren't in our division? The Saints play great only against division rivals. Well, Tyler Shough can't really help that, because he's only had division rivals on the schedule other than the Rams and the Dolphins. But I don't know. If you handle your division first, everything else seems to take care of itself. So I think this is something that will eventually come around. Once they get over the hump of this season into next year, I think you'll be a little more complete picture of the games, of the teams they're able to beat.
I think it's kind of a coincidence, honestly, right now, because it just so happens that the stretch in which Tyler Shough has come in and kind of transformed this offense and this team, you've just so happened to have a lot of division games. I mean, if you've played Tampa twice, essentially, with Shough, even though he only played half that game, you played Carolina twice, you played Atlanta once. The only non-divisional teams that Shough has played is the Rams and the Dolphins. He played well against the Dolphins in the second half, and the Rams were his first start. So I think as you see Tyler Shough play some non-divisional games coming up, I think you can still see the same success.
Yeah, I think stay tuned, and I do think you're right. A little bit of a coincidence, but it is also true. You're built to play within your division. That's why, like they say, throw the records out the window when they meet up. All right, we got to get out of here. Enjoy your Victory Monday. Enjoy these good vibes around Christmas time. Andre Johnson Jr., Sean Fazende. We'll catch you guys next time on Overtime.